and then they over. G'day guys, welcome to the Northern Footy Show. We're back again on Wednesday with my usual villain, Matty Bonadeo. Welcome, Matty, back this week.
Yeah, good to be back in the studios for a couple of weeks in a row now. So not out in the cold with the boys.
No, I like it. It's good. We've got things under control. And we have our special two guests here, Darren Collins and Rob Bolzon, who will join us. We've already got a huge amount of people jumped online to watch, which is generally where all the secrets are going to come out from, I think. Before we do that, I want to start a very special message. My little niece turns 12 today, Ebony, so I'm just going to quickly put her photo up. I haven't managed to give her a call yet. Happy birthday, Eb.
That's
fan of the show.
cheap.
She'll probably get $100,000 off her. Modeling, they'll be thanking me after this. So happy birthday. We'll get to everyone after. Before we jump into our special two guests for tonight, good mate of mine. Most people watching the show are probably old enough to remember Young Talent Time. Jamie Churchill is going to record a theme song for the Northern Footy Show, working on it as we speak. So we'll have our own theme show in the next couple of weeks. He's got a band that he still runs around with called Douglas Park Riot, I think is how I pronounce it correctly. But we're going to do a fair bit of promo. We'll speak to him over the next couple of weeks, and we'll launch the show. There it is. If you're into Insta, get on and give him a like, ripping follow. But more importantly, we're going to get to our guests, Rob and Daz. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Pleasure.
Daz, you've been the most requested player on DVFL, but that could also have something to do with the local police station throughout the years as well. A couple of questions have come through already that we know we cannot read out online. If you've got questions, send them in. I'm scared that someone's already sent one in. Do you know that one, Bonners? Is that about you, Scott Bannister? Bano watching? Or,
Yep. Bano.
You know Daz?
Yeah,
Rob? Yep.
Boy.
Yep. All right, very good. So if you've got any questions for these boys, get them in now because I reckon we're probably going to run out of space really quickly. Daz, let's start with you. You're a Diamond Valley boy originally, played juniors at East Reservoir.
Yeah.
At what age did you start there?
Probably 8 or 9.
Okay.
Played there till I was 14.
Were you dominating at that stage, do you feel? Be honest, let's not. None of us like
We embellish
it.
I thought I would have played league footy a couple of years earlier. You just can decide on that.
Well, we knew you wouldn't hold back. Rob's a bit more of the reserve one. So walk us through your East Reza days. Was that at the Preston Lakeside?
No, that was on Plenty Road near Target.
Oh,
That was
wow.
on home ground there, yeah.
Wow.
So, Barling Reserve, yeah. Yeah, so I played there until I was 14 and invited down to Collingwood 19s.
At 14?
Played 19s at 14, yeah.
Wow.
Bowls was about the same.
Really?
Because we grew up together.
You're older.
And you were not at East Reservoir. You were at, where did I have it here written down? Sorry.
Reservoir
glasses. Reservoir Colts.
Reservoir Colts. Yep.
Which was where? Where were they located?
In Crisp.
Crisp Park.
Crisp Park, yeah.
Yeah,
Crisp Road or Crisp.
Crisp. Okay, well. So did you play against each other, juniors? Are you similar in age?
We were in a higher division.
Right, you're in a much higher division. This is going to go on all night. So, Daz, walk me through it. You get called by Collingwood at 14. What happens? They call mum and dad, or how's it all?
No, well, we got invited down to the talent groups. There was an under 15 squad, under 17 squad.
Yep.
So I got invited down to that, made that, and the following year made the 19s list.
Who was coaching down?
Keith Burns.
Oh, my old friend at
Northern Knights legend too.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
Did he have big calves back then still?
He had big calves and he had a very loud voice.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, shout out to Burnsy if he's watching. He's a legend of local footy.
Under, Keith Burns.
So, at what age do you get your first 19s game?
I played the first year.
First year.
Yeah, played 11 games the first
So
year.
14, you're playing under 19s.
Yep.
Thought you left it a bit late.
Yeah.
Well,
Late
but-
bloomer, fair enough. Yeah.
And then how long between there and your first senior game?
I played 11 games the first year. The second year I played 3 or 4 twos games, and the following year, round 6, I played
Your
first senior game.
Yep. There's some highlights which we're not allowed to show because of the legalities. But
Copyrights.
there's one that seems to go around the Diamond
Well, I've got a
Valley
few
legend.
here.
You got a
Favourites.
There was no cameras back when you were playing, Daz. So no Channel 7 or nothing. So you play your first senior game, and do you stay in the side? Are you in and out?
Stayed in the side for the whole year.
Right.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
We'd just finished on the ladder that year.
Back then it was top 5. We finished 6th.
Okay. And who was your coach? Who was your senior coach?
Bobby Rose.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jeepers.
Another legend.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then that pre-season I broke my collarbone.
Yep.
And I wasn't the greatest trainer of all time
That shocks me.
anyway. So played the first couple of games, and then Lee Matthews took over.
Wow.
And played a couple more that year, and middle of the following year I went to Footscray.
Yeah. And how many games did you play at Footscray? Sorry, Bonners.
24.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Now,
How did you find the actual transition? Like, you've gone from 19s twos to basically VFL football within 3 years, for 14 to 16 years old playing AFL footy. It's would be a massive change.
Yeah, well, I think you either got it in you with the training and all that sort of stuff. I wasn't a great trainer, but
I'm sorry you're getting smashed online. I'm going to put them up so you can see them. Mark Orville, sit up straight, Colo.
that's Angry Dad.
Right, okay. Donna's India, put your can down.
Sorry,
That's the fourth one. isn't it?
Bailey, your son, the youngest one, put your tooth in.
I got it in. I did say that.
Mate, there's no friends on this
But,
show. is there,
especially
Dave?
with family.
Oh, my God, straight in. Sorry, keep going, Bonners.
Yeah, the transition. So, like, you look at it now, the difference between 18s and AFL now. Back then, it was a lot different. You said you went 19s, reserves, and then seniors. So, I guess, how was the transition? Did you find it pretty much you just continued on your natural path?
The difference was back then you had senior players playing twos.
Yeah.
The 18-year-olds now can't play at that level.
Yeah.
If we were good enough, we were playing against grown men anyway. So you're playing against blokes who are either playing league footy or getting dropped to come back and play. So
Yeah.
you learn pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But, you might be a kid inside, but you got to.
Got some more love from Scott Bannister. I think this is relative to you, Colo. And Shaz watching too, Colo, you ledge.
Thank you, Benno. G'day, Shaz.
You know what all that's about. All right, let's move to you, Rob. So tell me about your journey. So you're obviously playing Colts, and at what age do you get the call to go into a squad? Was it Fitzroy? Were you zoned to Fitzroy?
I was. I played a game in '83, a bit like Colo. If you're good enough, they just pick you up at that sort of age.
Yep.
And '83 played my first game, but they wanted me to continue to play, but I wanted to finish my time off at Reservoir. So I did. For the following year, I was doing a pre-season, and that's when the actual zoning changed.
Right.
So I was at training one night with a few mates, and they more or less said, you, Collingwood tomorrow night, and I had to stay because I'd played a game. So about the same age, 15 years of age, yeah.
Oh, so you had to stay at
I stayed at Fitzroy.
because you played one game.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
Was it Brunswick 3 Oval back then, or did you move to...
it was the Junction Oval.
oh, yeah.
Junction Oval, yeah. The outside,
Outside
ovals
grounds,
outside.
yeah.
Yeah.
So at what age is this? About
That's
15?
at 15.
Right.
Back in about 83.
Yeah, it would have been.
And at what age are you playing your first 19s game for Fitzroy?
Oh, that was that year, 83.
Right,
Played
so
one.
straight in.
Played one, yeah.
I mean, if I looked a bit shocked, just because kids don't play, like this anymore. Like, I know the game's changed, and I've got a couple of questions about the changing of the game for you shortly. So you're 15, you're playing arguably against men. And big,
19-year-old turning adults, men.
Do you remember who you played on? Who was fierce opponent at that age that made you panicky?
I couldn't tell you. Not at that stage.
Yeah.
No.
And how long between there and your senior game?
My first senior game was 87.
Right.
I wasn't as fortunate as Colo.
Yep.
But back then, we had a pretty good side. The Fitzroy sides were pretty good in the 80s. Collingwood, they weren't that good, so we got a game pretty quick.
Yeah. How times changed quickly after that.
I love it. So you get your first senior game. Did you win your first senior game?
No, we got beaten by the Swans the last game of the year.
Okay.
At
Princess Park?
No.
Was it Princess Park? Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I probably was there that day. I went to every Fitzroy game when I was young. I remember watching him as well. Who was the coach?
David Park was coaching.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely.
In saying that, Bowles has been this side since he was 10 now.
Yeah, I did actually want to say that. I don't remember him being...
No, you can say
I
it.
actually thought he was about the same height.
Yeah. He could have played his first senior game at 11.
I was actually born this
Yeah,
side.
probably.
All right, so a couple of things coming through here. Gavin Matsu, I know you sent some stuff through. It's a bit banned.
Yeah.
We can't
we are partly PG.
go through that. They can't go on. We do have a PG audience as well, but you can send anything else through. Two Rippers, he says. Mitchell Antonello. Bowles, mate, if you had a choice back then, would you rather be at the Pies? If it was your choice, where would you go?
Definitely not be Fitzroy.
Yeah. Good on you.
Definitely not.
I've seen your house. You've got beautiful
Absolutely
stuff up, and I hate the Collingwood.
Still following one-eyed.
Good.
Yeah.
Who, I guess coming up, you have those blokes that kind of take you through. Who was a player that, I guess, took you under their wing and showed you the ropes?
Oh,
For
well,
both of you, really.
it's so ironic that you mentioned that, but he passed away this week, and that was Ross Thornton.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it. I was 16 years of age, and he more or less grabbed me and took me for a ride for the next 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
An amazing footballer too, Rossi Thornton. One of the underachievers, I reckon. He was one of those ones you won't see up in lights, but the one bloke that most Fitzroy supporters went and watched every single week.
He's a ripper bloke.
Yeah. And yourself, Kyle?
Mine were more of the younger guys like Paul Rosonico, Cameron Doyle, Shane Fuller, the guys that I sort of mixed with at the time. And as I progressed through to the seniors, I grew up with Peter and Victor Dacos. So
there you go.
Yeah, so I knew a lot of them boys anyway.
Yeah, wow. I didn't know that. So is Peter's brother Victor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good player?
Very good player.
Couldn't kick goals from the third tier like Peter could. But
very good player.
Well, I've seen Daz's highlights. I was Facebooking and YouTubing today and kicked a couple from the boundary.
Bread and butter, mate.
It's the Collingwood pocket. I still reckon it came out further.
Right in front of the social club, I'd think it would have been, wouldn't it?
All right, let's go to a couple of these because these are going to come in pretty thick and fast. King says, 2 great men, thank you. And we should make it about these guys as well during the show. Grant King asked them who was the better athlete down at Little Athletics in Reservoir. So did you just compete against each other?
We grew up together basically from about the age of 6 or 7.
I've known Colo for about 10 years of age. Is that right?
Or younger, I reckon.
Well, I did. Yeah, under 11. So I would have been 10.
I'll say 45.
So we did athletics against each other. I only ever played 1 year of footy together.
Who was better at Little Athletics? Who won? When Daz is quiet,
he was a good runner. There's no doubt about it.
All the heavy lifting, the shot put, the high jump, all that sort of
triples
stuff.
And
Bolzon's got Popeye arms, so if you two start punching on, give me 1 second notice.
Well, you better give me a second notice too, because I'll be jumping before you.
So I don't know. I think maybe on par.
No, I think Bolzon's got me covered.
He's got a few more senior games, so I'm going to have to give it to him.
He's going to tell you about that 8 times tonight.
No, I'll leave that alone now. I think everyone knows it.
What do they know?
Well,
you played more, yeah. Was that at Edwards Lake? That's one of the, I think, the longest standing athletics tracks in Victoria.
Oh, yeah, that's been around for
it's been
ever and a day.
Yeah, it was all that horrible black tar for so long, and then now they've redone it. But for years it was that hard. If you fell over, mate, you just had this. Half your legs was disappeared.
But going back to athletics too, a guy that was a year older than us wasn't a bad athlete.
He wasn't bad. He's
Not a bad footballer.
He's probably got us covered.
Ross Lyon.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, he was with
Rossi,
us as well.
he was a year older than us.
Right,
Probably about a year or two above
Good
us.
footballer.
There's another Reservoir Colts boy.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. So how many came out of both of your clubs that played AFL?
Well,
There's
think-
a few in
think
front of me.
think
Dennis
Trent
Banks,
Cotchin was one of them, I'm sure.
Ian Cooper. They're East Reservoir
Anthony
boys.
McGregor was another one.
Anthony McGregor.
Wow.
A good Fitzroy
There's
boy.
probably more, but I
Yeah.
just can't think of
Well,
them.
if anyone knows,
Mm.
send in if there's players from the Reservoir area that went through to play AFL. It'd be great to know.
Well, the Rocker boys, but they didn't play at Reservoir, so
No, there's a lot of Reservoir
Makes
boys that
sense.
went through, but
Yeah,
East Reservoir
Yeah.
probably 2 or 3 before me.
Yeah, I was North Reservoir for under 10s, and then I think they folded or merged.
could be new, but
Yeah, probably was. Someone had to hold the poster. That's all I did was hold it up. Now, guys, because we've got a lot to get through, so I want to just ask you this. I'm interested from both of you. What would you like to see brought back from the days you played footy into today? And what in today would you like to see out? Sort of give me one of each. For me, I miss the super fair hard bump. Now, I know there's so much around concussions. I'm not going to debate, but growing up watching footy, a fair hard hit was how you nearly decreased the value of that side early in a game. Bowls is built like a brick shit house. So, like, you could have done some damage pretty quick, in your senior years especially. Like, what do you think needs to be in the game? Because a lot's been changed, hasn't it, Bowls?
Oh, it's crazy
Different
with all the change, and it's funny. You talk to some of the young blokes now, and they wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
Just wouldn't understand what the game was like. I'd certainly this stand rule rubbish. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
The bump too. Look, I understand the concussion stuff. Still like the bump in some degree. Still in. Just a little bit more contested footy.
Yeah.
That was you were either good at it or you weren't.
Yeah.
To me now, God, you can stand on the outer and just kick up.
Because
I like the
40 possessions now aren't
Correct.
what 40
No.
possessions were
No.
in the 80s. There's no way.
your Greg Williams getting
No.
40 possessions.
No way.
Well, they were like 80 now. He'd get 80.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
37 of them were handballs.
Yeah. He did get 41 once and didn't get a vote. I was
Yeah.
there. That was horrific. Daz, what about you? What would you like to see brought back in?
I'm pretty much the same as Bowles, the contested ball and that sort of stuff. Look, and I get it as well, the head knocks and all that.
Yep.
I agree with all that. But I'd like to see even, I know it's harder now, there's cameras and all that, the boys that get to have their nights out and that sort of stuff and everything stays in-house. And
Yeah.
it's
That's
just become too religious now where you can't go out and do anything.
Yeah.
And that's the mobile phone effect.
I was going to say,
very sanitary.
how would have both of you boys gone with mobile phones at the tunnel?
I would have been all right. I don't know about Bowles.
I think that's
I hardly went out, to be honest. I didn't really. I obviously tried a little bit harder on a Saturday because I was knackered, mate. I couldn't go out.
Well, I actually tried not to get out, so I could go out. So.
There's a couple more here. Scotty Bannister said Dennis Banks, obviously referring to another guy that come from local footy. Bolzo, you're in trouble off Donna now. Bolzo's arms sit better on his stomach.
Wow.
You can't write this shit.
Who's it from?
That's from your wife. The Collins boys are proud of you, Daz.
They're proud of me.
Proud of you.
I'll only say that on there. They won't say it in
What else are they
person.
really saying?
Exactly,
Well, let's touch on both of your boys for a second. So, Daz, your son, Luke, who I ranked number 3 best player in the comp this year, and I think he's an absolute superstar. He had some time at Essendon and now captains Bundoora Footy Club.
Yep.
Classy, tough player. Never comes off without blood. Josh is breaking in. I think he's just played his first couple. I know he's just played his first couple of senior games at Bundoora. He's only a baby still. He's 19 or 20. And young Bailey's just come off a knee, issue.
ACL.
Yeah, ACL. So he won't probably be back till later in the year.
Yeah, I think he's probably about 3 or 4 weeks away.
Oh, right. So he's pretty close.
Yeah.
So 3 very talented boys, and obviously Sean. Sean was a good footballer in his own right as well.
It was last year we had 4 play at Bundoora all at once. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Were you tempted to run out with them?
No, I don't think so, mate.
No.
Imagine me with
Did King not want to give up his spot? Was King can't fit you in?
He's saying that King is still a star.
He's a legend, mate.
King is still a star.
Just told me off a couple of weeks ago. He goes, "Don't take bloody photos of me." But anyhow, I did ask him the other day how many games of local footy he's played, and he said I would not have a clue. More than 450.
Yeah,
it'd have to be close.
You know what? And you watch him still play, and he
knows where to go.
He's just the fittest bloke I know.
He comes off and he's got that, late 40-year-old body that's just.
Well, he's put his hand up to be president. He's basically doing everything around the club.
Yeah,
Copped a nice shine on the weekend.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, the other guy's lucky he probably ran a bit faster than him, because I reckon Kingy would have given a couple back.
Wouldn't hurt his looks.
So. Let me just ask you about. So we talk about the things that have been and gone. I want to talk to you. This is. I hope I'm not going to get into trouble for this, but I'm gonna raise it anyway. There's a huge thing going on at the moment with drugs in sport, And I listened to a podcast, Sam Newman podcast, driving home from Wagga for work yesterday, and Dougie Hawkins said on there, one of the problems is the boys aren't allowed to have a beer anymore. Yeah. And that's where everything used to happen in that room after a beer. Is that how it was for you guys?
Well, there's no doubt about that. And I think now with their tests and everything they get done, they can't have any fat on their body at all.
Yeah.
You know what
we
I mean?
can't now because there's no skin problem.
Well, there isn't. No, that's true.
Not allowed to.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
But
that was 30 years far too late.
But you could have a beer, no doubt.
Yeah.
But it was customary to, a bit like local footy is now, we still do that.
Well, that was you looked up doing that, didn't you? Every game.
Yeah.
You go in and mix with the other players and other teams.
We told this story a couple of weeks ago on here. Gary Cutler was my coach, gave me my first senior game at 15, and he paid the guy a 6-pack of Melbourne Bitter to headbutt me before the first bounce. And I said to Cuts, why did you do that after the game? The guy said, your coach made me do it. I said, what? He goes, mate, you're nervous. I just had to get it out of your brain. You couldn't do that now. If you send one of you still coach at Bundoora now, reserves. If you send someone in to headbutt one of your own players, jail.
That actually happened to me back in the 80s. I had a high-profile coach tell me to do that.
That would be the question that's sitting here right now. Have you seen it? Is this the question?
Ooh.
Can Bowles tell us about the day Parko sent him out a message?
You can't know. You can't know.
I'm only reading it out, but so maybe don't tell me the end of it. But
well,
it's a different era though.
It's got to be someone you know. Who sent the message?
I'd like to. Who was it?
It was Chris Lee.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I can't believe his name. Name someone, but no, it was fact.
John Parkinson.
I was. We were playing against North. I could just about name the player. I think it was Steele, John Steele.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And there was a water boy in the dugout, and I was playing twos, and he heard him have a go at me.
1989.
I was 88.
All right, okay.
1988, and he said to the water boy, just go out to Bowles and tell him not taking his shit. North Melbourne kicked the goal. I'm running back to position. I'm having a look around to see if anyone's looking. I just went, whack. I kicked clean out.
And did you get weeks?
No one saw it.
Yeah. There's no TV.
No.
It's not like
get rid of nothing there.
Got away with it. It was an all in blue. And then I can remember Gary Wilson was coaching, and he got us in after the rooms, and we were close to winning the game. We could have won the game.
Yeah.
And he went through me and said, why would you do that? We've got a chance to win the game. I said, hang on, I'll hold you there. Parker sent the message out for me to do it.
Right.
And that was it. Went quiet. So it was all over.
And this is, the game has changed for better. Like the old King hit, I'm sort of glad that's disappeared. But, hopefully not speaking out of school here. I see your bloke get smashed every week in the guts. He's a marked man, especially against Montmorency. And I'm talking about your oldest bloke, Lukey. But there still has to remain some of it. My original question is, a beer afterwards, I know it still happens at local footy, but drugs have crept in, I feel, because there is no other outlet for these guys. And I'm not justifying it. Please don't think
disagree with that. I actually think that the problem with a lot of when you're looking at the higher level is the money. They've got, when we're back in our day, it was you went to work during the day and you trained at night. Where a lot of these guys, they're training 4 days a week, but playing golf, they're gaming. There's nothing else to actually do.
No, that's right.
You used to go training after you worked during the day, where now it's pretty much a full-time job.
But where's their outlet? Where is
their outlet
professional athlete now?
And that's what I'm saying, though. There's no real.
Some of them
play golf.
There is no outlet.
there's no society where you go out and do, become part of the community, do a hard day's work, and then go training. They're training at 7:00 in the morning, and then they've got the rest of the day off. I mean, there's too much, and the money paid now is nothing. Is so much more that I guess it's something that's always going to be there.
Well, I reckon it's crept into our game. Like even the older blokes that are playing now will always go and have a beer.
Yep.
Clubs are hard to keep running because the younger guys don't even want to go into their own club, which is pretty upsetting. Like
a lot of the money
really
is made over the bar in the county.
And there's some of the better days you'll have being with your mates
correct.
and having a drink.
And the opposition.
I'd love to know how many clubs out there on a Thursday night do the selection of the teams. Boys are hanging around having a meal, and as soon as teams are read out, everyone bails. Once upon a time,
Crown and Anchor come out.
Yeah, once upon a time, it'd be chockers until 11:00.
Yeah.
Now let's go to your young bloke quickly, Bolzo, Hayden. So Hayden's up in the ones, playing good footy. Similar build to yours. I watched him a couple of weeks ago in the twos and just destroyed the twos. Way too good for the twos. And that big body and presence. I watched him. I was only there for the first 3 quarters on the weekend. Had to go watch my son play basketball, the other one. But such a good body. How much of him do you see in you, body? He's hard at the ball, Hayden.
Yeah, it can be hard. Sometimes I wish he'd be a little bit harder.
Okay, I reckon it's pretty hard.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he isn't. I'm not saying he isn't, but yeah, a lot of similarities. Absolutely. Yeah, he's probably got a little bit more height than me, and definitely a little bit heavier at that stage. Same age.
Well, I think that's got a bit to do with him playing within the rules as well, though.
Of course, you can't do
within the rules, and as hard as he can be within the rules. It's a little bit different when you're running around there with no rules.
But yeah, very, very similar.
A couple of messages before we get into the games. How many JBs has Colo had tonight? He's actually only on one. Since Donna had a crack, he's pulled right up.
I'll get another one, though, if you want me to.
He does have a drip and intravenous going in through his shoulder currently, though. No, I'm only kidding. They're being quite responsible. The boys nice, laid back. Ian Cole's come in. The water boy Bundura reckons Hayden and Luke are better players than their dads. Do you two old timers agree? Well, let me help you here. I'm going to make this easy. Neither of them agree. I reckon Dazza will tell you he's better than all of them, comfortably. And I reckon off camera, the boys have played AFL. They are clearly good. Coley, one of the great men of the club. We started a volunteer award after Cole. Thanks for coming in, Coley. I didn't know you could use Facebook at this time of night, mate. That's pretty impressive. I love it. I do love it. All right, guys. We'll come back to you, but we're going to jump into Division 3. What you've got to do is you've got to tell me the winner of the game and the points margin. So, first game in Division 3. Believe it or not, I have my glasses and I've still got this wrong today. We're going to go Epping Heidelberg West is the first game at Epping.
I didn't know there was a Division 3.
What is it?
All right.
Never been down that one. No. Right. I'm not buying it any further. Epping Heidelberg West. Give me what you got, Bolzo.
I'll go Epping.
Epping by how many?
12 points.
Good. What do we got?
Epping 40.
I'm not going against Heidelberg West this time. I'm going to jump on them for about 3 goals.
Yep.
So I think they've been close enough.
2 points.
I think they've been close enough.
I copped a smashing last week. They won by 47 points.
Be a close one.
I copped a hiding online and deserved it. So that's all right. Fitzroy Stars, Kilmore, half of Bundura sides over there. At Fitzroy Stars, big game. They're a good club. And I know you went and watched them recently. On their day, they're going to be hard to beat. Anyone?
Definitely Stars.
Definitely Stars. Give me a number.
24.
24?
Stars easily. Proc and Joy Burns. There's 2 players.
Big shout out to
Joy Burns. One of them played
too.
150th last
week.
Joe Burns. Yep.
And they've got a past players coming up. I'm pretty sure it's this weekend as well. So all the past players head down to.
Will Mungara bound play?
I'm still trying. I actually got into Jacko the other week and said, "How close are we getting?"
Come on, Mungara.
One more. What a player he was.
Yeah. Star.
Fitzroy just.
All right, I've got Fitzroy by 12 points. Ivanhoe v. Mernda at Ivanhoe. Ivanhoe come off the bye.
I don't know much about the 2 sides, but I'm Ivanhoe in for the first year. I'll go with Mernda.
Yeah, Mernda.
Say a couple of goals.
12 points.
Yeah, Mernda.
Mernda.
Oh, the one thing about Ivanhoe, I haven't seen him kick a big score yet, where I see Mernda kick a big score. So I think Ivanhoe are a great club and they will go close, but I just feel like just until they can kick a big score, I still think Mernda will win probably by about 30 points.
Yeah, I've got them by 41. I'm not going to tip against Mernda for the rest of the season. They got 11 outs, and they have
when they get back together,
and they smashed.
So I'm a bit light on with 2 goals.
Yeah, I reckon Mernda by 41, non-burn kind.
Right. Okay.
And no disrespect to Ivanhoe, first season in, and I agree with Bonners. I haven't seen a big score kick yet, and that's what you're going to need to do to beat Mernda.
Yeah,
Colin
to
wants
be
to
the
know
top
if you can
sides.
put a multi on this.
Yes, we should do that. They do it on the front bar.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll get something on here for sure. Bonners will take your money. He's got enough. King Lake versus Old Collegians at King Lake. Hard to beat at King Lake, but a lot of good form.
I can't pick them. I'll go
Could.
Collegians.
Yeah, Collegians by how many does?
Couple of goals.
Couple of goals.
Nah, I'm going with King Lake. Might snow, so it'll make them a little bit harder.
Might not get a full game out.
For Collegians. For Collegians.
You go for Collegians.
No, I'm going for King Lake.
Right. Okay. How many points?
Couple of goals.
Okay.
No, I got King Lake. The Collegians in my top 4 ranks, so I think they'll win easy.
Yeah, I've got the Collegians. They're undefeated. They're looking pretty special.
And they come back. Plus, games they just can't be put away. Like Mernda had them, put them away, and they just couldn't finish them off. So
their stars are really, their young kids are kicking absolute ass at the moment.
Yeah.
Gold Eltham. So I've got them by 37 points. In the last game, match of the round, Laylaw v Reservoir. Big game. Big game. I'll tell you this, there's going to be a lot of alcohol consumed.
Laylaw by a point, Xavier Whitnell to kick the winning goal.
Oh, Jesus. No. All right. Well, that's a multi. I'm going to give you $12 on that. All right.
I was over 100 then.
Maximum bet's $5.
Definitely my old side.
Laylaw. Yeah. All right. And Bonners.
Yeah, I reckon Laylaw at home. They've been pretty. I reckon about 5 points.
Yeah, I've got Laylaw by 14, but could blow it. I actually reckon Laylaw are in good nick. And I do want to get the Reservoir coach on, so over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to reach out and get him on. It is hard rebuilding a side sometimes.
Yeah.
Bloody
Well, we've spoken to Witters a few times, and it's great weeks and it has a shocking week. So,
but they've had a couple of good.
Yeah, they played well.
Very competitive first game.
Yeah, they were.
And they won the week
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And the week before they played Fitzroy Stars, and all accounts they were very competitive around the ball. They just didn't have the outside polish. So, Fitzroy Stars just have the outside polish in spades.
Yeah.
Very, very close Division 3 this year, and some absolute talent running around there now. Daz, I don't know how you raised your boys. I know all of these fellas, but Luke said Darren Collins sponsored by Jim Beam, and Sean Collins followed up from a different address with Jim Beam sponsored by Darren Collins.
Very good, boys. Very good.
That's proud, Dad. And your wife's come back on. Hopefully the partners are sponsored also. We can sort you out, Donald, with a nice bottle of Spumante. Our shout. No drums. This is good. All right, let's jump straight into Division 2, and we'll save Division 1 because he's pretty aligned with. I'm not allowed to speak about Bundoora ever. I am. So, but you guys can. Northcote Park v Watsonia. At Northcote Park, unfortunately, they weren't able to get a 2-side on the park last week against Diamond Creek. Hopefully, they can. And if you're looking for a game, get down and support a very, very good club in Northcote Park. What do you got, boys?
I'd like Northcote Park to win, but I think Watsonia will win pretty comfortably.
Yeah, I think you might be right there.
I agree.
Yeah, I've got Watsy by 31. Panton Hill at Panton Hill take on South Morang, who are, probably the other side to catch at the moment, other than Diamond Creek. Even with the likes of Josh Dintasante out, pretty confident you're going to lose Deacon Kalpakis pretty soon to Coburg as well. 2 very good players, but they've just got kids coming through. Kyle Wheatley's kicked 6 again.
Yeah, good player.
South Morang, certainly.
Yep, certainly. Yeah, I've got them by 39, but I'm probably being nice. What do you
They gave Lorimer a touch-up last week, and I just think them and Diamond Creek, as we've said, are the 2 teams that and Whittlesea, I suppose, on the outside part, but they're the 2 teams that have shown their way, kick big scores, put teams away. Yeah, I reckon it'll be 10 goals. I
know what's going on here, but Donna's getting more love than you at the moment. Scott Bannett is gold, Donna, and Pete Westbury reckons that Spumante was your choice of drink back in the day.
Well, we got
drink anything by anyone,
Drops on the rocks, I would too.
What was the beer in the rooms back in the 80s? Was it
Melbourne bitter, I'd say.
Fosters, I reckon.
Fosters
or Carlton Draft.
Carlton Draft. They weren't around.
Can you buy Fosters anymore?
Yeah, you
I got the big bitters.
They think we drink that.
Carlton Draft, can you remember?
Okay.
Melbourne Bitter back then too. I remember my
Melbourne
nonna.
Bitter?
Yeah, my
Melbourne
nonna used
Bitter
to bring
is
out the Melbourne Bitter.
Gary Cutler paid that guy.
Can we go back to the Penn Hill game just for 1 second? Because
Absolutely.
Callaway's been ringing me. Dave Callaway's been ringing me every day for 3 weeks to make sure he gets the mention. So they have got a great line coaching Calla.
Hey, Callers, feel free to even
I know
up here,
Calla.
mate. I know
Yeah.
he won't be too far away. He's
Maybe eating somewhere.
liking everything. Jesus Christ. This is turning into the slagging match I thought it would be. All right, so let's move on to the next one. St Mary's Diamond Creek at St Mary's. This is going to be a cracker.
It will be a cracker.
You're a St Mary's boy. How long did you coach there?
Oh,
Too long.
about 10 years.
Yeah, I
11
think you
years.
bought half
Oh,
of the
look,
wicket of Bundoora.
oh,
There's a strong presence there.
There's a few knives
Oh.
getting me guts.
All right,
from
sorry.
that, so I won't. But look, it will be. Oh, look, I've got a tie with both.
Yeah, you do.
teams.
You've done a great job at both.
That's close. That's going to be close. So probably Diamond Creek just.
Yep.
Within the kick.
Okay.
Yeah, I
But
think they're the side to beat.
Would surprise me if St Mary's got over the top of them.
What do you got? Big
Oh,
fella?
sorry,
I know you're a
St
St
Mary's
Mary's lover.
Yeah, I actually think that. They'll win by about 4 goals. I reckon St Mary's.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Diamond Creek, but I just see. I reckon they're an under.
Where's it going?
Thing.
At,
It's at St Mary's.
That's St
Because
Mary's.
the Diamond
well
Creek's
then,
different. Yeah. I reckon St Mary's win by about 4 goals.
I got Dymo by 17, and I actually reckon Dymo go undefeated all year. They're too strong. They got too much depth.
If
But I'm
Who's
happy
got
to
the
be
bye?
wrong, and I'm going to get sprayed on Monday.
Diamond Creek kick to that right pocket towards the creek end, they'll get beaten.
Give me the tips.
All
All
right.
right.
Make up the bye this week.
No. Sorry, we kept going. I put that away too early. Lower Plenty versus Whittlesea. At Lower.
Whittlesea easy.
Yeah,
Whittlesea.
I don't know how easy. I think Whittlesea 22 is what I've got. I've been impressed with Lower Plenty. I think they were tipped early maybe to be the side that goes down, but they're fighting hard. I'm really impressed. Pat Cronin Foundation this weekend as well. Shout out to those guys. Excellent cause. Get down and support it. I think they've still got some tickets left over to get down for their luncheon. Special guests, so a great cause indeed.
What I will say with that is it's like Montmorency as well. The home ground advantage for these teams like Lower Plenty and Monty, where the ground's so much smaller, it makes a big difference. Like this at Whittlesea, I reckon Whittlesea win by 10 goals. But this at Lower Plenty, when the smaller ground, you can't play the same brand that you play on a bigger ground.
Yeah.
I still think that Whittlesea win easy, but I reckon it's a different game.
Yeah, a lot of congestion.
It's a lot more congestion. There's a lot more. These teams that play on the smaller grounds are so good at their contested football. It's just getting to the outsides where Whittlesea are good at the inside, but then they've got the outside players as well. So I just think those two grounds are probably the biggest home ground advantage in the Diamond Valley.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go Whittlesea by 22, but I think Lower will put up a fight all the way to three-quarter time at least, and a big day for them. And the last one is Cellar Dweller Lorimer, who I tipped to pick to finish 5th this year. I'm probably got that wrong, but they have played majority of the top sides, so it's a big learning curve for these young bodies to come up. But they're taking on Thomastown. I got Thomastown by 61. I think this is a very solid win to Thomastown, boys.
Yeah, I think Thomastown.
Yep.
They went close last week, Tomo. With like Olivia sat here and said, she turned her nose up when we picked against them, and they didn't go far away from winning. So they will win this very easy.
I did watch Olivia Antonello play footy on the weekend.
Yep.
Superstar, and I watched Kiara. Fantastic game of footy. The women down there at Thomastown. I was extremely impressed. All the girls down there. And Brooke, who's our number one fan, I went down there, got us some photos, and on our Sunday wrap-up, we've put a girl in the backdrop as well.
Yeah.
So we've got a male and a female in there, and Brooke will be on our backdrop for the Sunday wrap-up for the rest of the year. All right, that wraps up Division 2. Want to touch on a couple of things. We hit over 2,000 followers this week, Bonners.
Yep.
We've only been going about 12, 13 weeks.
No, 1,901 and 100 of your family friends. Yeah.
Well, you're probably 5 of them.
That's 1,900 of my family. So,
we got so we hit over 2,000. Facebook give us a groups page so we can run polls. Our first poll today was Division 3, which I know I stuffed up. I put the wrong thing on there. Division 3, and people have given
it's good. Fletch let it go.
Moonda. They reckon Moonda's favourite. I'm trying to reach over into my bag, which you can't see on the camera, thank God. And the votes came in. We had 130 odd votes, and Moonda is favourite with 35% of people saying they'll get up. Fitzroy Stars second, and then there's daylight to everyone else. But you're not going to believe this. 10 people reckon Laylor Bloods can win the flag from here. I'm glad
They're doing a late charge.
Nothing wrong with hope, mate.
I think they might have hit the juice with Lance last Sunday. when they posted, but we love Layla and good on them for doing what they do. Okay. So we've got 2,000 followers. We've hit 750,000 views of our ugly heads. I can't believe that, which is great. The new $50 tip we do each week keeps going off. Glenn Greeno picked the winner last week, 97 points South Morang for $50. That guy sniffs $50 out from about 8 Ks away.
Well, it's a bit unfair. His head's so big, so he can probably see more than we can.
So thank you very much for your support to get us to 2,000. We're really over the moon. Donna wants to get in on the sports bet. $12. A $12 bet, you will get 2 more Jim Beams. Safe, pretty safe. Scott Bannister's liking all that. All right, so couple of birthdays coming up that we want to get into. Ralphie Bamblett played under you last year. Fitzroy Stars is his birthday, so happy birthday. Mitch Antonello's dad, Paul Antonello, turns 97 today. Congratulations, Paul. Big arms too, isn't he? Wouldn't want to get hit by one of those. So then we've got Chloe Head, my niece, birthday this week, and Ebony Derrick, Paul Derrick's daughter from Kilmore. I seen he posted a happy birthday today, so we'll give a shout out. If you join us on Facebook, it'll actually tell us your birthdays and we'll give it a read out. Now, Daz, answer what you can here, okay?
I'll do my best.
I'm sure he will.
Daz, don't forget to ask Colo about Crown and Anchor Thursday nights.
Yeah, that was a must.
Yep, it was on.
It was on every Thursday night.
Does anyone play Crown and Anchor anymore, Bolzo? When was the last time you said anyone played
Manila. Manila's a game.
I played Manila at your joint. I was out in about 15 minutes, so I'm obviously not very good.
But in saying that, they were very smart. It come out once our pays got handed to us.
Yeah,
we got paid weekly there. So
how often did you give your full pay back and leave in debt for the following game?
Yeah, I didn't go home very often with money left in the envelope.
Which takes us to the next line. Numerous occasions he borrowed match payments in advance.
I can't remember that.
Also ask him about our Thursday after Arvo sessions on the piss before training. Surely you weren't drinking before training.
No, I'd like to know who sent that in.
That was not going to... It's not fair to tell you it was Mutty.
But that started at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, when there's smoke, there's fire, mate.
Plenty of time to...
didn't it?
Yeah.
Now, Jack Bartlett from Moonda asked me how your tail light's going. What happened to
your tail? Yeah, Bailey had his license for about an hour. He borrowed my car and come back with broken brake light. It was an accident.
We've all done that
It
before.
was an accident.
Now, Rob, any truth to this that the Could Have Been Champions sung a song mentioning you?
I believe so.
Is that right? What was the reference? Because we might get you into the new Douglas Park Riot one.
Who sent that in?
Eric McAvoy.
Yes.
Oh, Eric McCoy. Well, he knows a little bit more about it than me.
Bailey's just said the bin got in my way.
Yeah. If that's what he wants to call her, that's fair enough.
So was it a good wrap up at least, Rob?
I think so. I have heard it once or 10 times.
I do remember hearing it myself. So,
now, when I was going through doing some research today and yesterday on you guys, you had a pretty decorated career after footy as well. After AFL footy, you went on to Paran.
I did.
To play VFA, and you moved on to Paran as well.
Yeah, I had a year there with Bowl.
I looked after a couple of games. Mate. He'll tell you I looked after.
He did. Well, he dropped me. He took me to training, so he did look after me.
Probably had to get you out of the pub at 10 if you're on the piss at 10 a.m. So how'd you go there?
91. We were okay. We finished in the middle of the road.
Yep.
Brian Taylor was coaching.
I was going to say, was it like Jordan back then?
Yeah, he wasn't. Me and BT went the best of friends before I got there, so we finished up worse friends by the time I'd left.
Really?
Bowles makes fun of that, but yeah.
Right.
I found him excellent.
Of course you did.
He
was scared of Bowles.
No. Did you go back to Diamond Valley footy at any stage? Did you finish your career back in the Valley?
Yeah, well, I only had the 1 year and then I went to Epping for 10 years.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I had the one and had a year at Tatura, believe it or not. In 92, I went back to Paran 93.
Any truth to the rumour that when you walked into Tatura,
pre-season,
a few weeks ago, you were treated like King Charles? True or not true? And two guys, not one guy, two guys told someone, not going to mention his name, but he that Rob Bolzon is the best player to ever play at
No,
Tatura.
I didn't.
Can I have a say
That's
on
true
that?
fact. That's what they told
I
me.
I wasn't there, but I
didn't
heard
hear
it from
that.
the same person.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was no. Well, then they're talking shit.
No. I heard you were pretty influential. You didn't get the flag, though. You didn't get the chocolates.
No, we missed by a couple of points.
Wow, that's tough.
Mm. The only one I've dropped.
What the hell made you go to Tatura? It's a long way. Cash.
Called coin.
Yeah, I know. But, like,
Well, no, I can answer that. It's easy. I got married in
So you had
91
to get
and I
away
went there in 92.
so you got married and you're pissed off.
Young bloke, 92, and had a good year at Paran, and it was the year that I was runner-up in the listing, so I had a really good year. I won the BNF at Paran.
Yep.
They come knocking on the door, offering all kinds of things. What else was I going to do?
No,
It was an offer I couldn't refuse.
well, if
So,
it was, you got to do
I
it.
went.
It's a long
Yeah.
way, though, isn't it?
I was an hour and a half. I lived in Epping at the time.
Did you have to train up there? No. You trained
No,
locally?
I actually trained a few nights with Epping.
Yep.
Were you there at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, so might have trained with him, but then I thought, bugger it, I'll just do my own stuff.
Yeah.
And that's all I did.
Really?
Yeah, went played.
Obviously worked, but
Yeah.
someone up there thinks you're still the bee's knees, mate. So treated like right.
I loved it. It's probably the best year of footy I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah.
Just
Good
had
grounds
fun.
up there too.
Oh,
Like the country grounds.
Yeah.
I mean, even when we had our guys at Bolzon, instead of going to local footy, they all went up the bush, and they were getting like some of the money they were getting every week is just incredible.
And it's ironic that we've got a connection at the moment with
we
the
do,
Tatura
yep.
Footy Club.
Yep.
Yeah.
Our Bundoora and Tatura, and
Yep.
the boys that come and train with it, they're ripper blokes.
Yeah.
And,
So, mate,
yeah,
why are
and
they
they enjoy it
it
up
or
there.
something, are they? So they trek.
I think they're Melbourne-based players, from
Okay.
what I believe.
And they pay them to go up. And
Yeah,
play
correct,
for the weekend,
correct.
So,
So
What would a player get up there now? What would local footy? If you lived down here and you asked to go to Tatura or Shepparton today or wherever it is it $1,000 a game?
I'll take a guess, but between that and
two.
two,
Yeah,
if you're a good player, yeah,
Plus,
Really?
a lot of the times I'll have accommodation overnight and stuff like that.
absolutely.
So, yeah.
Wow.
It's
All right,
been happening
guys.
for years. So, yeah.
There's a couple of more things in here. Enjoying the show. I like the jokes and the laughs. Donna said, "Love what you're doing, but Darren, get home and mop." How are you doing that housework, mate? We need to have a chat.
I can't
before
believe you
man.
keep reading it out.
I do. I'm enjoying it more than anything. Keep sending them in. All right, we're going to go to Division 1, boys. There's a big week of Division 1 footy going on this week, okay? Actually, I got a joke for you. I do joke of the week. They're generally pretty bad dad jokes. I need just to rate this out of 10, all right? Get you ready for this. They're not very good.
Can't be that good.
I like them.
It's freaking.
You're already laughing. You haven't started yet.
I don't love them.
You know it's bad when he's laughing.
So, when I went to school, I had a teacher, and her name was Miss Turtle. Why do you think she was my favourite teacher?
Oh, come on.
Because she taught us.
Oh.
I texted to
Right,
Waters
I'll
the
give you
other day.
9.
9, I like it. I'm taking 9. That's a good
Well,
joke.
this isn't a
Dad,
joke.
You're a grandfather. You
I
need to
am.
be giving these out.
This isn't a joke, but I went to school with a Dean Puller. And guess, and true story, his dad's name was Richard.
No,
I promise you.
no chance.
He'll be probably watching.
If someone
Dean.
else can confirm that, I want to know. Haven't asked Colo yet about who his number 1 fan is. Who is your number 1 fan, Colo?
Who? What? Oh, my mum.
Oh, your mum?
No doubt about that. Yeah.
Home and hose?
Yeah, no doubt.
We had this question earlier, so we're going to go true story. Who's your favourite player out of your boys?
My favourite player? Well, he's not playing yet. I'd say Eli. He's he's got he's got part.
I wouldn't have asked that if I
Very good.
didn't know the answer. So
Deflected that one.
Was
Was that from Bailey or Josh?
no, none. It was just I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. Peter Westbury, true story. Yep, about your mum being number 1 fan. That's great. Rhonda Carmichael every week. She comes in and she comments. We love Rhonda. She's very quickly becoming the number 1 fan. Great show. Love it. Love hearing all this old times. Peter Westbury, I'm going to start charging him for comments. Watto. Who's Watto? Why does he think Watto is your number 1 fan? Who's Watto?
Oh, Puppet. Jeff Watson.
Right.
Don't know Puppet?
Nah.
Yeah, he's someone we went to school with. He does a lot of posting on Facebook, so I'd say he's a mad Collingwood supporter
Right,
as well.
okay. I can't hate him too much for that. Jack Bartlett, we already asked him about the car. You must have tuned in late, Jack. Get organised. But yes, he has confirmed that the bin was accidentally moved by his son, Scott Bannister. I'm Colo's #1 fan. There you go, mate. Still signed. The boys had to sign the footy when they got in here. All right, we're going to go to Divi 1. Here we go. Banyul Montmorency. You watched Banyul last week.
Where is it played?
It's
Banyul.
at Banyul.
Banyul wins.
Banyul wins.
I saw a team, as I said last week, that had they kicked straight in the third quarter, but Heidelberg are the best team in the comp, and Heidelberg are the best team in the comp. They would have been 4 goals down halfway through the third quarter, but they kicked 1 goal 5, playing exactly the same game. As soon as you give the top sides a sniff, game's over. But I reckon Banyul win this.
All right, boys.
Yeah, at Banyul at home.
Mm.
I reckon Banyul just.
You have a beautiful
Geez.
affiliation down at Montmorency.
Yeah, well, I had a year at Mont as well, so and Luke played there, so I'll go for Mont.
You're going for Mont. I think Mont get home by 7. I just think this will be the test, though. But if Banyul do win this, I reckon this is a changing of the guard, and Banyul are probably fighting for that second spot on the ladder.
They're
Certainly
well
gonna play
coached too.
finals. Very well coached.
Paul Harris.
Got
Made
Perot
mine,
coming
yep.
in next week, I think, or the week
Next
after.
couple of weeks for sure.
Yep.
I'll made mine.
Josh Collins has put his 2 cents in. Is it true Darren used to spend hours before the game stretching his socks so he could fit his calves in? Your kids are giving you more grief than anyone else tonight. I love it. That's what the show's about. Mark Cullen. Colo needs a break. They're just about to jump at the Meadows.
Yeah, great Footscray man.
That's
too.
a blast from the past.
Yeah,
mate.
good Footscray boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good player.
Really? Great.
Dog, yes.
Did you play with him?
Played with him, yes.
Oh, great. Excellent. Well, thanks for tuning in. Mark Orville. Have I pronounced that correctly?
Orville.
Any mail tomorrow, Colo? He's obviously after a tip.
Well,
Don't
I'll check
take
my
it.
phone and it'll probably be from you, I reckon.
Don't take it. Don't
Mm.
take it.
Don't back my horse last week. It's still running, Tommy. And Donna's back. Funny as Josh. I don't know what's going on there. I'm getting out of it. Next game, North Heidelberg, Bundoora. I have tipped Bundoora for the last couple of weeks. I am a Bundoorian. I paid my dues and got on board with the old man and all that, and it's good. And I'm loving what I'm seeing at Bundoora. I am biased, but there's a lot of kids getting games that you brought through as well, Bolzo. It's got to give you some pleasure to watch
Absolutely.
these kids. Both years have been involved in coaching down there. It's got to give you a pleasure to watch. You've got 4 kids up there with under 4 games in playing seniors. I had a look at the stats today of those boys. Everyone is holding their own.
Mm.
You've got to give you some serious pleasure.
Very young group. I watched them play against Mont first game.
Yep.
You know, I was first hand, so watching them first hand, and I think thought they were stiff and were in winnable position. Just got us in the end. Look, I had a bad day against Greensborough last week. Very stiff. Very stiff.
Yeah.
It's only around the corner a win. I'll back us this week.
You're backing us?
No
How
doubt.
much are you getting up by the doggies?
Look, they're going to be a
North Heidelberg.
pretty strong side. Pretty hard to beat. North at the Coliseum. Couple of goals.
Couple of goals. All right, 12 points. Colo,
Yeah, I'll go Bundoora. Same, couple of goals.
couple of goals.
I reckon North will be stung after last week losing home to Greensy, so I reckon they win this by about 6 goals.
All right, I'm going to tip a draw. Obviously, I played 1 season down at the Doggies. I love the Doggies. I always feel at home. Warren runs a real good tight ship down there. He does a fantastic fella as well. All of the guys down there are just amazing.
Another Reservoir.
Yeah, is he?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Hang on, he played for Colts too.
Was he Colts?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think he
Fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic player. I'm going to go a draw. I actually think North got a few injuries. Young Dane Whitnell got injured last week in his first game up, and we send our best wishes out to Dane, who I think ended up with a punctured lung and some broken ribs. That's a tough first game in VFL.
Right.
But I hope you get well, mate. But I think it's a draw. I think both of these sides are fighting for 5th or 6th position on the ladder, and this week will tell us which one of those are going to have those positions. So I'll go the draw. Now, Luke Collins, there's a $50 fine for you to endorse. I'll send you the video. Mitch Antonello's sister advised us last week that Mitch got dropped in the ruck in the under-14s for Olivia. So that's got to be $50 and a spin of the
Mate,
wheel.
I reckon it's 100.
It's 100. Josh, just confirm. I'll send you that video. Sorry, not Josh. Luke, I'll send you that video. Let's get some money going for there. Michael Brown's just kicked in. Hello, Darren Collins. Great memories as a kid in the Diamond Valley versus Preston Reza. Little athletics. I think Bolzo was there too. He's the
Yeah.
fella that,
Great man. He's Kevin Brown's brother.
Right.
LB's brother.
Okay, well, Kev gives me a bit of grief online. He's actually eased up a bit these
Is
days.
he?
He has
He's
each other a
chilled,
bit.
and he used to give me a fair bit of stick. But I've asked him to come on the show. Apparently, he'll tell me how good he was, more than you. But and he was a good player.
I don't believe that.
Good player, yeah.
Good bloke too, ripper bloke.
Mark Cullen asks Colo the day you played on Mark Hunter, hearing different stories about that every day.
Yeah. Mark Hunter still reckons he's got my undies up in his garage wall. That was my 49th game.
Right.
And we were very good mates. And yeah, that was my last game.
Really?
So I'd say I think I had the better.
Yeah.
Had my first kick after the halftime siren.
Didn't
touch a ball again.
Underpants after the game. But
Well, he pulled them down, he put them back on and took them up again. So
oh, that's a great one, Mark. Thank you for that. Next game, McLeod Heidelberg. What have we got, boys? McLeod's probably in trouble.
I'm going to say, can't go past Heidelberg. I'm going to say 200 points.
200 points. I've got 76, Dazza.
100 minimum.
100 minimum. Honours.
Well, Heidelberg have had their first games have been Monty, North Heidelberg, and Banyule. And they're the three other teams you're looking at. So I reckon it clears up from now. And yeah, they win this by a lot.
They might choose to rest some players and bring in
but
some
if you've
youngsters.
seen their twos as well. They're
okay.
actual stocks.
Well, if that happens, it's 150 then.
I think
They've got some good
it could
stocks.
be anything. I agree. It could be anything because Heidelberg are as well an oiled machine as I've ever seen in local footy.
Yeah.
And they have so much depth. Even they lost so many players to VFL this year, still have the depth.
Yeah.
Well coached too.
Yeah, he's a
Vinny.
legend. He's absolutely one of the nicest guys in footy. Was he a hard man to play with or on?
Oh, he's just a big man.
Yeah.
No, he just didn't
He's so
shut
quiet.
up. He just didn't shut
Really?
up.
He's a lovely guy.
Go ripper bloke.
Gives us all the time in the world. He rates Bonners as one of his best ever players, believe it or not. So shows he's got some poor judgment. All right, Hurstbridge, West Preston. The buys this week are Eltham and Greensboro just in advance. So last game of the round, Hurstbridge take on West Preston. Whew. We seen Hursty live last week. I thought they were okay. Yep.
they're better than that.
Yeah.
No, I think they win pretty easy.
Yep.
I agree.
How many?
Oh, 6.
6?
Yeah. 5, 6, 7.
5, 6?
Yep.
What do you got for me?
I don't know this one. Like, we underrated West Preston last week and they came home and played really well. So I still reckon Hurstbridge win, but probably only about 3 goals.
At Hursty?
At Hursty.
Yeah, 6.
I got Hurstbridge by 18, but I think West Preston, another Carlton man, Ian Aiken, is coaching them down there. We'll have to get Ian on at some stage and doing a good job with the boys. But, you know, we talk about, I know you have your little segment each week on the Sunday wrap-up where you talk about where everyone's at. For me, McLeod and West Preston, they're just going to have to win a couple of games. And so is Bundoora. You know,
but these are some of the most important games for these teams.
Yeah.
To get the we spoke to Eltham. They got their first win on the board. Once you get the monkey off the back, it's a different game.
Yeah.
Like you don't have that same pressure of trying to get your first win. So, you know, to get on the board is everything. So that's what I'm saying, like with West Preston and these ones. Once they get on the board, it's a lot. There's some type of pressure release that allows you to play football.
You just start to play with a bit of freedom.
Correct.
I think at some stage, every time I win a game, you've got to win a game against one of the better sides.
Yeah.
I did miss a name before when I read out the birthday. Danae Yankos, George's daughter. She's turning 22, I think, this week as well. Might be 19. It's one of them. Anyway, all right, boys. The last thing we do on the show each week. Katie Cakes makes us special cakes each
Can't
week.
see it tonight. She's not here.
She's not. My wife's just taken off for Italy. Tough life, isn't it? She's on the plane. She just arrived in Rome before, but she made us the cakes before she went. Right, so these ones, I'll try and get it up if anyone can see them. They say the Northern Footy Show, and there's a couple of footies for you guys. You got to rate the cakes out of 10 and have a bite.
I don't eat sweets, mate.
Really?
No.
Well, you're no good to us. More for Bonners to take home.
Correct.
Everyone does have a bite.
True, I don't.
Wash it down with some 20. Really?
I'm feeding.
Go footy. I'll go
Sorry,
to the footy
disappointed.
show.
I'm sure they taste lovely.
If he does this every
There's
week,
a treat on the bottom for you too, Bonners.
is it? What she got on there for me? I don't care.
Ask the boys if I can take my teeth out now.
Take that, boys. Just take them out. Get them out. She put a layer of chocolate
That's beautiful.
down the bottom. Pretty good, isn't it? Ranking out of 10.
They look all right.
10.5, mate.
10.5. She'll be loving that. I know she's watching it from Italy right now. Bonners, what are you giving it?
You know she gets more than 10.
You're
every
always
week.
good to 12. All right, guys, that wraps up the footy show. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in. It's been a pleasure to have you in. And it's so good to talk about yesteryear. And, you know, the guys gone by. Bolzo, Static is still involved, coaching heavily. I know you're heavily involved with your boys as well, Daz. And it's just good for local footy to have players like you still involved in the game, guys. So thank you so much for coming on the show. Till next week, guys, we have a couple of guests coming up. The Sunday wrap-up, I'm going to try and get on Reservoir Coach. I'm putting in the hard yards at the moment, trying to get hold of Gary Ramsey and a couple of others. And Kira's going to come and host the show with me this Sunday. Matty's getting put on the bench. We've had a gut full of him. We've also got next week Paul Harrison.
We're just working out.
Trying to work out the date. So we're getting
a message on to him.
And your coach, Paul Harrison,
hopefully.
ex-Bundoora superstar as well.
No, Ron right? Paul Harris.
Ron Paul Harris. Anyway,
it's why when you open your mouth, you hurt yourself.
Well, I don't really care. I was just saying it's that Paul Harrison. Who cares? All right, guys, till next week. Have fun and keep watching the footy and enjoy. Have a good